Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be going through the Myriad Celestia trailers for Honkai Star Rail for the very first time. Now, if this is your first time here, I just ran through the Honkai Star Rail character trailers. We did 4 parts of that, and honestly, I had such a blast learning about the characters of this game that I really wanted to learn more about the actual, the lore and the world of the game as well. So we're going to be doing these Celestia trailers in order of release date, and I think we have like 20 plus of them, so this might at least end up being like a part 1, part 2, maybe part 3, depending on how long the video ends up being. And yeah, other than that, guys, I guess obviously drop in the comments below. I'm going to be a little blind on this stuff, without actually playing the game myself, but I still want to be in this world and learn about more of the game before maybe I even dive into the game itself. So we're going to do that. So, all right, guys, I'm not going to talk too long. Grab a snack, grab a drink. Let's dive into these Myriad Celestia trailers and check out what's going on in the world of Honkai. All right, the very first one we're going to be taking a look at is the history of the Xianzhou 7 Arbiter-Generals. It's about 4 minutes long. Here we go.
I regret to admit it, but the Xianzhou have very few legends. For what room is there to create legends?
Okay, so we're going to learn about the generals
who do not die. But there is one distant legend that can still be recounted. The story of the Cloud Knight Generals.
Cloud Knight Generals.
It began 8,000 years ago, when the emperor of an ancient kingdom yearned for both legacy and immortality.
Okay.
He sent our Xianzhou ancestors into the astral seas. And through the boundless stellar reaches sailed, great ships in isolation softly veiled.
Okay.
After voyaging 2,000 years,
2,000 years?
discovered traces of the divine.
Who is this lady?
The Plague's author revealed themselves.
Plague's author.
And offered an immeasurable lifespan. But the blessing was a curse.
Right. It usually is. Okay.
Those who exceeded their lifespan became the Deathless Doom.
Deathless Doom. So who are these people? Whoa.
And thus the
like branches are growing off of them.
Peaceful years were lost in sickness, treachery,
okay,
blood, and tears. At the very precipice of the Xianzhou's existence, the Rainbow Arbiter descended.
The Rainbow Arbiter.
The crumbling alliance.
Oh, it's like a centaur.
For the next 5,000 years, the Alliance voyaged the vast cosmos, purifying the universe under divine mandate. Heading the 6 ships were the vanguards of the hunt, the 7 Arbiter-Generals.
Oh, okay. Here we are on the 7 Arbiter-Generals.
Side, 6 generals of renown.
All right.
Fierce and swift is Fyxestroll, the Merlin's Claw.
Cool. I like the little symbol noise there.
Is Huayan, the Flaming Heart.
I like these little intros.
Cautious and sophisticated is Xiaoguang, the Seer Strategist.
Okay. Dude, the visual style is so crazy in this.
Is Xuan, the Sage Queller.
Sage Queller.
Mysterious and fair is Yo Wu, the Patina Justice.
Ooh, that one has an army.
Wise and brave is Jing Yuan, the Divine Foresight.
Okay.
The 7 Arbiter-Generals wield extraordinary powers. Intelligent and visionary Jing Yuan of the Law Fu is admired by friends and feared by foes.
Okay.
With skillful sleight of hand, the trap was set.
Oh, I like seeing like the star map here.
The Borson soon, with crushing loss, were met.
Wow. Okay, this has some rich history, doesn't it?
An army must be of one heart and mind, where skillful sleight of hand is little use.
Ooh.
The Cloud Knights entrusted their lives to me. I shall not fail them.
Okay.
Glory to the Xianzhou! Glory to the Cloud Knights! Glory to the Xianzhou! Glory to the Cloud Knights! The hunt is with us!
The hunt is with us.
Quite the story, Master Gongshu.
Very cool. I feel like I'm literally learning the history of this world, which is very awesome. All right, so what's really cool about this trailer is, you know, obviously going through all of the character trailers now, I do know these characters, and I'm like, okay, so these people are the 7 Arbiter-Generals, and I didn't know that. You know, when I was reacting to their trailers, no idea about any of that stuff. You know, like the factions, there was like mention of factions and stuff throughout a lot of the trailers. I wasn't able to grasp that stuff just yet, so I think this is awesome that I'm finally diving into possibly like some of the factions and stuff that we're going to be learning here. Now, obviously with the 7 Arbiters here, not all of them are playable characters. Based on the trailers, I think we only have like 2 of these that are actually playable. And it's the first one here, the Merlin's Claw. And then we have Jing Yuan here, which is the other playable one that we saw in the character trailer. So does this mean that eventually maybe they'll end up making the rest as actual playable characters? Or are these Arbiter-Generals just a part of the story and maybe you like run into them during your, you know, during your gameplay or travels or whatever of the game? So you guys let me know about that. All right, guys, let's move on to the next one. Very cool little details and very fun history of the 7 Arbiter-Generals there. Let's move on to the next. All right, next up we have Fables About the Stars Part 1.
Let's make an exchange, shall we? An exchange of memories. I dreamed of a ray of light.
Who's talking?
Crystal chalice. The light
This
that
looks
shone
cool.
from that crystal spoke to me.
Oh.
Listen to the parable of the stars. The nameless one, the pathless one, arrived from the edge of the wilderness, clad in stellar radiance. Go now, march and wave.
I like her voice.
A solar wind. At the end, you will return to my embrace, but march towards the light.
The destruction.
Yet that light began to burn, piercing through the clouds as it
What is going on here?
Towers crumbled, and the people fled, for the sun was soon to set and meet with vicious destruction.
The
But be
hunt.
not dismayed,
on.
O child of the world.
Oh, there's the
The
rainbow.
Arrow will descend to purge the wicked abominations. You must follow the traces left behind in the storm's wake.
Erudition. Okay.
The Celestial One guards their secrets, plotting out the routes
All the
that
music.
connect all things. But they are silent, like a shroud of mist at the center of the universe. Listen to the silence, and you will know where the stars
What is that thing in
are
the back?
resting. Let your staff
The abundance.
strike the earth, they say. Once
Feet.
and again. The tender sprouts will
abundance.
grow to the sky, and the dew that falls from their branches will rid you of sickness and
Whoa.
poison.
All the arms look cool.
Blindfold your eyes, they say, that the approaching darkness may strike no fear in you.
Huh.
Let it not burden your soul,
Whoa. Black hole.
nor numb your stride. Push open the majestic gates, they say,
Reservation?
and lift up the tablets of lapis. Read them aloud.
So are we getting
Let the fire
like...
that forged the bricks and the ones that laid the walls foundations.
What are we being introduced
be
to
known.
here? The harmony.
Then they say,
Whoa.
"Oh, you who have reached the end,
Whoa, the puzzle pieces.
enter into the paradise that envelops all. Join this great choir and feast.
Whoa,
Listen
the
to
multiple
beating of
heads.
billions upon billions of hearts,
Their faces.
holding you in their embrace."
Look upon the courtesans' extravagance.
Whoa.
The mariners' intemperance.
Whoa, what's
Listen to the
happening?
infant in the mirror, the waves as they enter the dream, the tipping
Whoa,
of the
whoa, whoa,
balance,
whoa.
the shapeless prince, and finally,
This
measure
trailer
the
just got
world
really
against
trippy.
yourself, and take all such things to heart. This is the path you should walk, they say. Machiavelli, depart once more. Machiavelli.
Okay, so Trailblazer.
Countless shooting stars streak the sky tonight. Should you choose the right one,
Huh.
It will carry your wish
That was basically just like a tarot card reading
to
that we received.
thousands of distant worlds.
Very cool. Very like, man, it got really interesting here towards the end where it started becoming like kind of twisted and warped and really trippy here. So this felt like maybe an introduction to maybe the world or like the stars or the universe or like the, you know, the galaxy of Honkai. Because, you know, this game kind of feels like a merge of kind of like sci-fi and fantasy at the same time because of the idea of where the world takes place with all these multiple planets, right? So I feel like generally when I see the, you know, when you see the gameplay of a game like Honkai, straight fantasy, right? You got magical elements, just the way the characters look, but then you have this sci-fi world that is like encompassing all of Honkai. So it's very just like an interesting merge of the two. So we were basically receiving a tarot card reading from Black Swan, but I don't know, you know, obviously there's a lot of things that she's talking about here when she's reading through basically the card that you pulled. And then, you know, we saw the Return of the Rainbow Knight here. That was pretty cool. A very cool music throughout this as well. What was cool about this is, like I said, it felt like a tarot card reading for us, the player or the trailblazer, and we were introduced to all of this stuff within the world through this tarot card reading. So very creative, I think, in my opinion as well. All right, everybody, next up is the Jepella Rebellion Scene 47. So is this like a rehearsal? Is it like a movie? Scene 47?
Kafka, Stellaron Hunter.
Kafka, okay.
How do you plead?
Oh, classic song.
The
Oh,
crimes you have committed are beyond pardon, but the Jepella Brotherhood respects every individual's entitlement.
oh, look at them. They look crazy.
Admit your guilt and embrace.
Is this like some Kafka background?
I'm listening.
How do the Stellaron Hunters plead to the following accusations?
The Stellaron Hunters.
You breached the premises of the Tatooine Universal Auction, manipulated the guests, decimated the artistic treasures under the gaze of a devout audience, inflicted monetary damage amounting to over 860 billion credits, and absconded with the auction item. How do you plead?
Guilty as charged.
I was gonna say guilty.
But not a devout audience.
You infiltrated the cyber prison of Inupis, stole the Sigma Rod to deactivate the firewall, allowing a flood of data demons to enter reality, consequently propelling the world toward a judgment day, all in order to take the meta code.
The meta code.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
I admit it, but those data demons deserve a taste of freedom.
Yeah, she is proud of her
Violated
work.
the ring
Of
world
course.
Golconda, disseminated the philosopher's poison virus across all colonies, causing 46 million inorganic entities to turn into rampant machines, and stole
I like the
skill
different
form
style
of
that they're
quantum
doing with this
gravitational
trailer.
Equilibrium, silencing the entire world. How do you plead?
Oh? Sounds like a page out of the Jepella Brotherhood's playbook. But sure, we took the thing.
The Trovis disappearance. The Lore 51 Stellaron event. Cyber attacks against planet Skrullum. The Pierpoint incursion.
The list goes
and
on.
so on. A total of 46 criminal
46.
cases. Do you admit that all these malicious incidents were the work of the Stellaron Hunters?
If you ask me, it seems like the Annihilation Gang has their fingers in quite a few
The
of these
Annihilation
pies,
Gang.
but I confess, it seems you forgot one though.
This one?
The Jepella Rebellion.
Oh. Okay. Okay, scene 47. I get it now because they said 46. The Jepella Rebellion. Look at that. Whoa.
You should really stop playing with your food, Kafka.
So this is like another...
Next time.
This is basically a different introduction to Kafka here.
It's already too late.
And the Stellaron Hunters. Very cool. So this is like your guys' first introduction to them. So I am trying to learn about all of the different factions as well. And I think that's what we're kind of getting with some of these Myriad Celestia trailers. The thing I remember about Kafka was when we saw her in her trailer, the very cool thing that I enjoyed about her was like the spider web kind of like imagery whenever she was like going through and committing the crime in her trailer. I really enjoyed that aspect of her. And then the use of like the classical music again with this trailer and her trailer. And then the fact that, you know, I remember remember seeing at the beginning of that trailer that there's a wanted bounty on her. So again, all of that makes sense. Very cool. So we learned a little bit more of a background on, well, I guess we learned about the Jepella Rebellion, which happens in this trailer. We also learn more background about the Stellaron Hunters and Kafka. So cool. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Looks like we are getting another history lesson. This one is the Exodus of the 5 Dragons. And you know, I think I remember some people mentioning in the comments about this. So
I have traversed great lengths.
We're finally going to learn about it.
A piece of history. The history of Long the Permanence.
Long the
I
Permanence.
too know little of the progenitor of all dragons. Before
Different
the
art
dawn of
style
history,
again, man.
Long traversed the burgeoning
Crazy.
chaos, seeking the answer.
Now
to
we're getting like
existence.
watercolor.
And on that path, the revelation of the permanence was unraveled.
Revelation of
Then
the
came our
Permanence.
emergence, us, Long Scions.
I visited Liaris, a world encircled by 5 suns. The giant dragon sat overseeing the turning of day and night, the change of seasons, Xianzhou, the lives within. Could the revelation of the permanence signify the timeless nature of one's greatness?
The relentless pursuit of individual immortality will only breed an unending multitude of malevolent creatures. Such is the
That's a cool
fallacy
shot.
of the Plague's author.
So
There's
then
the
does
Plague's author
permanence
again.
represent the continuance of bloodline? I also journeyed to the ancestral home of the Infernalian people, in the land of white embers. The undead dragon Typhon's
See, this is
breath
so cool
showered
of like
flames on the
how we're
land
getting
below,
this like fantasy,
bringing forth a
very
flourishing
fantasy stuff in a sci-fi
Long
world. It's
Scions
so
are
interesting.
dispersed throughout countless worlds, living in solitude. In the vastness of the universe, the rise and fall of one race is of little consequence.
It is said that the Vidyadhara formed an alliance with the Xianzhou, and that 5 elders descended upon the mortal realm to keep watch over the plague moths.
Okay.
Perhaps the permanence is the noble ambition that ensures the safety of the universe.
Alas, Imbibitor Lunae forsook his oath, causing a state of great disorder.
So the dragons were
High
just
elders, too, bear
watchers.
mortal frailties, their
Protectors.
heavy burdens ultimately becoming the shackles which bind them.
From your perspective, what does the permanence's revelation truly signify?
As the sun and moon rise and fall, the world undergoes continuous change. So
Okay.
the concept of stability.
Oh, are we getting introduced to them now? We are.
Comprehending and aligning with the way of the world
Ardens
can
Regia.
one's path lead to everlasting existence. Countless new
Merum.
creations emerge when one dragon meets its end among the morning stars. For the Vidyadhara, this is the true teaching of the permanence. Within the cycle of life, any endpoint may mark the
I wonder what made them
inception of a
decide to go
new
with no
journey.
color in this. Oh, and as I say that, there's some
For
color.
him, it is no different.
Aha. Ooh, the reflection on the water there at the end felt very significant. Okay, so I'm doing my research a little bit on the 5 dragons here. And so they call them the Vidyadhara, I believe is what it says. So Lingsha, Bailu, and Dan Hang are the Long Scions, or a humanoid long life species with draconic features descended from Long, the deceased eon of permanence. Okay. Man, I am getting a crazy history lesson here on Honkai. And I need it though. Like I want to learn about this world because again, I just love like this combination of how somehow like you never see a combination of the fantasy and sci-fi worlds. Like you're never seeing dragons and some sort of like sci-fi, you know, planetary star kind of stuff, right? Like it just never happens. You see like ships traveling from planet to planet along with dragons being involved, right? Like that's just not a thing. So this is a very interesting thing about the Exodus of the 5 dragons. I just don't, you know, it is a little hard for me to know exactly everything. This like, also this like, it's not watercolor, maybe like this ink painting kind of style was very, very cool to see. You know, a lot of it's in black and white, but then we do see little bits of color, especially on the dragons there. And then obviously at the very end here, very, very refreshing in this like kind of landscape of like just black and white and grays to have this color, and it very much so pops in this trailer. I remember reading about Dan Heng and you guys giving me kind of the background on Dan Heng when we ran through that trailer and how he was related to the dragons. You guys will have to give me, I would love just a little comment in the, if you guys want to drop some comments about the exodus of the 5 dragons, or just like any help on the 5 dragons in the comments below would be very, very helpful for me, guys, because this history is very in-depth. There's a lot of little nuances and stuff that I feel like I would need to know the background of Honkai more to know some of the stuff that they're talking about, but I'm really, really enjoying the history and lore that we're getting from these trailers. All right, next we have Cloud Knight's martial doctrine on swords. This one's a little shorter. Back to the Cloud Knight's martial doctrine.
Traveling with you has stirred up my curiosity. What drove you to pick up the sword at such a young age?
Okay.
Well, I suppose there's no harm in telling you. At first, it was the General's stories about the previous sword champion. He told me about her unparalleled skills, her unmatched prowess with a single blade. It inspired me that one day I could earn the title myself.
Oh, that sword is so cool.
So, it was the allure of renown.
I also wanted to live up to the General's expectations and repay him for the gift of his teachings. Where would I be without him?
Then you wish to forge deeper ties.
It's more than that. One day, I'll run into battle alongside my Cloud Knight comrades, defending the Lawfu and striking down those who threaten us.
Okay.
My abilities to their
So we're seeing like what is inspiring this kid.
In the end, it all comes back to fealty.
What's with all the questions, miss? Why did you choose the path of the sword?
I too was once shackled by fame and fortune, impeded by bonds and loyalty.
Ooh.
But in the end, the sword moves beyond
Whoa.
such notions.
Oh, back to the ink painting stuff. That's cool.
For the sword is just a sword, an instrument determining life and death.
Oh.
Nothing can tarnish its essence.
Whoa. Dude, this, I can't speak about the art enough in these trailers.
Understand the purpose behind every swing of your sword.
Understand the purpose behind every swing of your sword. Oh, that got him sweating.
Do you understand now, future sword champion?
Dang.
I wield the sword to vanquish my enemies. Nothing more. And now, our battle begins.
Yeah, I guess I'd be sweating too, man. So we have Yanqing here and Jinglu, I think is how you say her name. I guess having a conversation. So is this the first introduction of the two here, or were these two already in the game? I feel like this is more of an introduction for her than it is Yanqing. My guess is he was already in the game, and then this is kind of an introduction of her because it very much shows how much of a badass she is, and especially when she is basically threatening him here and basically saying how important the sword actually is, and how he's going after fame and fortune, but she's like, this is more serious than fame and fortune. I'm no longer shackled by that. So again, I felt like we're learning more about her character than we are maybe. I mean, we're learning about Yanqing here too, I guess. We're learning about both characters in this trailer. So very, very fun stuff. This one had a mixture of art styles. Honestly, like 3 or 4 different art styles. I feel like we got this art style here. We went back to the ink painting stuff. We went to kind of like this, you know, kind of like this just like drawing with very little movements, like just on the sweat here. So lots of art styles in this. Hoyo keeps doing crazy stuff in their trailers, and I'm here for it. Let's keep going on. All right, guys, our next one is called Interastral Peace Tour Selection, Planning, and Opportunity. This sounds like it's like a commercial or something, maybe.
Hey there, you! Yes,
me!
You! Wait for you. The gem filled with endless potential.
Oh.
Hold on to your hats. The IPC's gem identification system will ensure that
Gem
each and every
identification
pound you possess
system
will be harnessed for intergalactic peace. Do you have the thrill of adventure?
Okay, this guy's hyping me up.
If so, our marketing development department.
I told you it's like a commercial.
For you. With the nameless Oswaldo Schneider leading the way.
Oswaldo Schneider.
New world will soon be a part of our expansive credit system. If you're someone who values structure and logic, our business consolidation department offers the perfect stage for you to
So
shine.
is this just like a
With products
company
twinkling like a
that
million
provides
stars.
like
This
Interastral
department has
travel and
created
like
a
credits
spectacular trade network that's measured in
and
light
trade?
years. Heard of hyper-distant delivery systems and synesthesia beacons? What was once science fiction is now reality.
It's pretty cool that they made like an actual like
Got
commercial
ideas
for a
nothing short
company
of
within the
genius?
game.
Look no further. Our technology department is
I mean, that's
waiting
just
for
more
you.
lore,
Join
right?
us And team up with the Intelligentsia Guild.
Okay, there's the
With glimmers of
Intelligentsia
fortune
Guild.
and title dim before the luminous path of the Amber Lord. Know that the building material logistics department is the sanctuary.
We're just like getting all of the departments within the
Become
company.
cornerstone of our operations. Every stone you place with precision plays a pivotal role. Grit will form the backbone of our formidable subspace barrier. If you're someone whose qualities go beyond the ordinary, unyielding
This
in the
guy's
hearts of
hype, though.
storms, this message is for you. At the strategic investment department, talent is the most precious investment of all.
Okay.
Origin, background, irrelevant. Diamond seeks out the unique and the extraordinary.
Okay.
Those who sit at the table will determine where the wealth falls. The
Okay.
motivation
Talent
department
motivation
is
now.
just another division. It's a shining beacon of empowerment.
There's
Top
so many
talent
different
deserves
departments
top
and
first.
divisions, I
That's
can't
why
keep
the
up.
Talent motivation department was established. Every task you
Diverse
undertake
office
serves
pets.
as the pioneering spark that sets Pierpoint's passion ablaze.
I mean, I want to work here.
Still hold on to cherished dreams. Our operations are as everlasting as the sway of ocean tides along the shore. Witness the traditional project department.
Now we got the traditional project department. Like, how many departments do we need?
Take the leap. Join our ranks and climb to unparalleled heights. Check the
Okay.
distance of myriad worlds and make the history of the galaxy your very own footnote.
Okay, so that
The
was.
hammer of the Amber Lord has struck.
Oh, there's an actual
Endless opportunities
hammer.
begins.
That was the craziest, like, IPC, is it? Company? Yeah, so the IPC, that was just like basically a breakdown of each individual department within, you know, this company in the game. Now, I don't know if this company just shows up throughout the game, or if even these departments are all that important, or if this is literally just giving us like kind of the background of the company within the game and giving us like just an actual, it's making it feel like the real world, and like this company has all these, you know, like a real world technology company would have all these departments and stuff. I mean, it felt like a very real like recruitment, you know, video, training, commercial, whatever you want to call it, to get you to like join this, you know, this company. Now, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Is this a bad company? Is it a good company? I feel like most companies like this that have some sort of like training thing like this, or a marketing video like this, usually are bad. You know, it depends on the video game, of course. So I don't know if this is actually a good company. I mean, their name is Interastral Peace Company, I assume. And then, yeah, the guy that was voicing over the video as well, incredible. Like, that was such a hype way of getting me to want to join the company of some imaginary company that does not exist, but exists in the world of Honkai. All right, our next one is called an Exorcism at Fyxestroll Garden. I think I said that right. Probably not.
When the Xianzhou people roamed the galaxy, they inevitably meet strange beings. So lots of spooky stories start.
Ooh, I like that animation style.
On one such occasion, a new Ten Lords Commission judge received a decree ordering her to subdue.
That's Hua Hua, right?
Excuse me. You won.
I feel like I say her name weird.
Manners.
Oh. Yeah, I remember her trailer with like the exorcism stuff.
Huh? A compass? It can't be.
Oh, this is adorable.
You, the new one.
Oh, jeez. I want like a little emote for her.
Careful.
She has like these adorable little
Are you
faces.
okay? Let me help you up.
It's not an enemy. Relax. You're good. Oh. You don't even know what you call this kind of animation. I mean, I've seen it before, obviously, but where it's just like, I don't know, like, it's not like still animation. I don't know what it's called, but I love it. It's perfect for her. It's making it adorable. Wait, what? Is that her soul? Or like her ghost?
You asked for a spooky tale to grow some guts, didn't you? This is what you faced on your first day. Why are you shaking in your boots?
That's enough courage training for today.
Courage training? That's what we're calling it. And that was a day 1. You know, I've had a very real experience of this. I've watched horror movies with somebody that I know that just does not do horror movies very well, and it is very much so like this character. So it's a very real thing for some people, okay? But I totally understand, you know, her this shot right here, like look at her face. Like I totally understand, you know, if you're in a scary situation like this. Is this supposed to be like her? I felt like it was like an EMF reader for her. She was like ghost hunting, and then she finds a ghost nearby, and then she brings out her sword. But yeah, I really just found this one to be adorable. I want like all these little faces she's made throughout the whole video, like as emotes. Like look at this, perfect emote. This one, perfect emote. You know, the scared face, perfect emote. This one's another perfect emote. These would be just such great emotes, and she makes such adorable faces throughout the whole trailer. I love how at the end here he's pushing her like soul back in slowly. Like that's just so funny. And then we discovered that it is her courage training towards the end here. So yeah, she's gonna need a lot more courage training before going out on the field, I think. All right, everybody, I think we're gonna stop it there. So there's, according to this playlist, it looks like there's 21 of these Myriad Celestia trailers. I'm gonna split it into 3 parts. We'll do 7 each. You know, they're different lengths each, obviously, but I don't want to make the video too long. So we're gonna just stop off with 7 there, and then I'll have the next one up as soon as I possibly can. But I hope you guys enjoy these. Please drop in the comments. Like I need lots and lots of help with this kind of stuff. But these, I can tell, are obviously giving us more lore background for some of the characters, but they're also giving us more lore background about the world and everything like that. For example, just with the IPC like recruitment video that we got, felt very real, but it was obviously just adding more lore to the world, adding more lore to the company. Just, you know, obviously we had these 2 history videos as well. So yeah, this stuff is just adding more lore to the world of Honkai. So I want to dive more into these. We do have 14 more of these to go ahead and check out, so I'll get those in the next part. If I'm really feeling feisty, maybe I'll, you know, maybe I'll finish up the next 14 in one video, but you know, it is kind of a lot to watch and react to, but I will try to get those up as soon as possible. All right, everybody, please leave some love on the video. I appreciate it. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, check out the other Honkai stuff. If this is your first time here, I have other stuff on here. We have Wuthering Waves reactions, we have some Valorant stuff, we have some League of Legends stuff, so go check that stuff out while you're here. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.